Did two of Atlanta's top rappers just crash out on Kendrick for Drake?
Lil Baby decided to disrespect Kendrick Lamar in the most craziest way, bro. So it looks like Lil Baby had blew up a GNX lookalike in his latest IG post, but quickly deletes it right after it was posted. Now it says here, is he trying to start something? It wasn't a real GNX, but a regular black Regal. So it is definitely not a GNX vehicle. I think this is going back to him being disrespected or feeling like he was disrespected and that Not Like Us song. I think he feels some type of way about that song. Obviously, Lil Baby has his relationships with Drake. If anything, I think he came up because of Drake. I think him having that Drake feature is the reason why he blew up to stardom in the first place. And obviously, I feel like this is him showing that he chose a side and that he is not rocking with Kendrick Lamar. And this all goes back to the interview that he did with Charlemagne when he had talked about not being cool with Kendrick Lamar by saying he didn't really like that side of hip hop.
What was your reaction when you heard Kendrick mention you in Not Like Us? He said Lil Baby helped you get your lingo up in reference to Drake. What do you think when you heard that?
I ain't really into like that side of hip hop. So I don't really, you know.
It was at this very moment where people were starting to think, oh, well, maybe Lil Baby doesn't really care about the battle. Maybe he's not trying to be a part of the battle. But after this, bro, it just looks like he didn't want to give his actual opinion on camera when he was talking to Charlemagne.
But you and Drake always had a good relationship. I mean, Drake helped you a lot.
Great relationship.
Yeah.
So, you know, you kind of like, it's just with any situation, like, if you and him was arguing, why the hell you gonna say, but, you know?
And that's the shade, bro. That's the shade. And this is him responding to that.
I'm a player, I run through the whole crew. Brought Drake with me and they know Kung Fu. If I hit him in the jaw, then he gon' sue.
What up, words? Your boy Challz Brown back again talking facts. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Keep sending those Cashaps to CLBMG. Gang, listen. On the song Outfit, Lil Baby, 21 Savage, they kind of, it's a hard record, right? But I think these guys are sitting around in the studio just talking. I'm just going to be honest. I think they're talking, man. I think they're starting to feel like it's time, gang. It's time to snatch back things the way they used to be because, gang, I don't know why, but for some reason, these two dudes that are on this record both just threw sneak disses at K. Dot. And before we talk about what they did, my whole thing is the first things first. If dudes felt like this, it's been 9 months, gang. It's been 9 months. It is January of 2025. You're just now starting to relay that you're on Drake's side in 2025. Now let's just peel back the layers. Imagine how different the battle would have went if guys like this would have spoke up 4, 5, 6, 7 months ago and jumped in it. Even with the sneak disses, do this 8 months ago and there's a different atmosphere. Not saying it would have changed the outcome, but it would have made it a little more spicy. It would have got real spicy. And a lot of dudes would have a lot of trouble right now. Let's just be honest. I think it's crazy low-key to come out 9 months later with some sneak disses. But I'm going to tell you what was said, right? I'm going to tell you what was said. And we're going to have a discussion. So 21, before this whole thing with the blowing up of the car, right? 21 Savage on his verse, which people were thinking was a sneak in the first place, right? He says this little line, and you tell me if this is a sneak diss from 21 Savage, who is a Drake co-conspirator. They work together faithfully. That's his man, 50 grand. He goes, I'm a player. I'll run through the whole crew. Brought Drake with me, and I know, and it no Kung Fu. If I hit him in the jaw, then he gonna sue, right? Brought Drake with me, and it no Kung Fu. Kenny's name is Kung Fu Kenny. That is clearly a sub at Kenny. Just Kenny. I'm just being a buck with you. So then, I think it was yesterday or today, Lil Baby comes out on his story with a lookalike GNX car, blows up the car, and then deletes the story, but not before people could catch a screenshot of it that he blew up a GNX car. Now, Lil Baby was not quiet about the fact that he had an issue with his name being used in the diss. Now, let's just say this. That was even months later before he even said that. He said that months later, that he had an issue with his name being used in the diss record. My whole thing is this, gang. And I just got to be honest with you, gang. If these dudes had a problem, I think they're in the studio chopping it up. They smoking, they laughing, drinking, and they're talking about this battle. Because for both of them to come out right around the same time, blowing up cars and talk about Dracos and talking about Kung Fu, this sound like they was in the studio talking about Kenny. I'm just going to be honest with you. My whole thing is this. Kenny said that 8 months ago, 7, 8 months ago, about Atlanta. You're running to Atlanta. Dudes could have deaded this the day he said it. Nah, Drake's my man. It ain't like that. No one spoke up. It took these dudes months to interject into this conversation. Not one of them dudes stood up for your boy. Not even one. They was bitter and I ain't in it. They stayed way back. They let the whole fight. I don't know if they got calls from the West Coast like stay out of it. I don't know. But to me, and I understand it's dangerous. It's dangerous to intervene and say things when you're told not to say nothing. I don't know if they got told. I don't know if they got told to say something or not. I'm speculating. But whether you got told to say something or not, if you're not going to say nothing in the heat of the battle, why would it be spoken on 9 months later? Is this where the sneak diss is going to start? Right? You're going to start to search yourself. Did you try to wait and see where Drake landed and where the smoke cleared? Now you see, okay, now it's okay to speak and say that we're Team Drake low-key. Now Drake is going around pointing out everybody that wasn't there for him, everybody who was on the stage at the pop-out, everybody who was a fake friend, right? But ain't it low-key a fake friend when you won't say nothing during the battle, when it's in the heat of the battle and your name is called out on a record and you're shh. These guys were directly named on that record, the biggest record in the history of hip-hop. Your name was directly named on there, and none of you stood up and said, nah, fam, take me off of that, or I ain't got nothing to do with that, or nah, that ain't true. Drake's my man. No one was doing that. I don't have any documented quotes from anybody interjecting that, nah, not like us, is fabricated, it ain't real. Drake is like that, he about that. I ain't hear none of that. So now, 9 months later, we got diss lines. We're blowing up Kenny's G, and it ain't a real GNX car. It's a lookalike though, right? Kind of like they blew up they smashed the Good Kid, Mad City van. When Kendrick said it, it didn't hit like it's hitting now that they hate the West Coast. It's starting to look really crazy now that all of this West Coast talk, right? Joey Badass and these different people, these little West Coast slick lines. Everybody got something slick to say when the West is getting on top of it. But it's been like that. It was like that back when the West got it in 88, 87, 89, when NWA and them had it, in the early 90s when the West had it. It was a lot of slick talk from the East Coast. Let's just be honest. We all know it was true. Tim Dog came out, F. Compton, and a lot of other dudes, right? Let's just be honest. Quite a few guys had some slick stuff to say out of New York, and that's just part of the game. That's the nature of the beast. But now it's getting to the point where guys that really have a foot in it, they really have a stake in the game, are speaking, but it's like the voices are low, they're very timid, but they still saying stuff. To me, you blow up a lookalike car, that's telling me everything. For somebody that's so quiet about this situation, somebody that really don't get into diss battles, that speaks louder than words to me. For you to go pick out that car, bring it to a set, wherever you took it at, to set up because you got to set up the what do you call it? The pyrotechnics to blow up this thing. There's got to be safe environment. All of this got to be thought out. So you thought that whole thing out, blew it up on your story, and then took it down. That was well planned. Now everybody's talking about it. And now it's like, okay, now we can get the buzz, keep the buzz going for the album. And the album sold decent numbers, right? I have no idea why someone like Lil Baby would insert himself into this, because I know that he was a little upset, right, with him being name dropped in the Not Like Us. But now you have inserted yourself. You cannot delete your way out of it. You have inserted yourself into a real problem, because it's not just, you see how they reacting to Joey Badass. They already got 3-4 disc records locked and loaded on him. It's like they're going to be on him for like 6 months. Minimum. He going to have trouble going over there. And he didn't even really do that much. All he said was too much West Coast dick licking. He didn't really do much. I don't know why. And I know why 21 would do it, but I'm just saying it's a little late in the game to throw a sub in Drake's name. Drake is doing the album with Party Next Door. He's not even rapping right now. So I don't think that rappers that got something to lose should jump in a battle that Drake has jumped out. Drake is out of the battle. We all heard the Fighting Irish freestyle. That's a man defeated. He's sad, gang. He's talking about LeBron did me dirty. Like, he's really not, he ain't in battle mode. And I don't know if these dudes is getting in the battle mode with him, or they're trying to, I don't know what's going on, but I know that they're poisoned, he's getting poised for a comeback. And I know that these guys feel like if we can get him back in his bag, because there's a lot of guys, let's be honest, there's a lot of guys slowly working this guy back into the public eye in a good, they're trying, right? 50 Cent he's trying, gang. He's trying his best to maneuver and weave him back into the good graces of hip hop in the mainstream media. And these guys are coming with these little, I don't know what these things, they sneak disses or whatever they got going on. But this is the worst case scenario, because you're stepping into something that's not fully settled yet. The hip hop community, in case these guys don't know, is fully behind Kendrick. I know there's a lot of sprinkling Drake fans around that's doing this down the third and saying what they want to say, but they're not moving the culture right now. This Kenny thing is. So to come out against Kenny right now, 9 months later, is kind of wild. You're putting your own you're putting your own career at risk. Let's just be honest. Like, they love this dude so much, they pretty much walking away, turning their back on anybody that's coming at them. It's not a good idea. It's just not. It's not enough strength on the opposite side of it. Right? It's not enough strength on the opposite side of it to carry your career. So this is the worst case scenario, is coming out right now when this whole thing is dying down, to stir it back up again. Unless you really want, you're going to go all in. I don't think these are the two guys to go all in. I'm just going to be honest. I don't think these two guys need to be trying to go all in on a full-on rap battle with Kenny or none of these dudes, because these dudes are ready to crash out. I'm not even talking about in the streets. I'm just talking about on wax. They skill level is extremely high, right? So I don't think right now you got Ray Vaughn, you got a lot of dudes out here ready to go nuts. Daylight, Absol. Like, I don't think you really want them problems of these dudes to be, like, if you're built for that, then okay, but I don't see 21 and I don't see Lil Baby being built for that, to be responding and coming back with, I don't see it. So I think the worst ways, and I think this is how, I think Lil Baby, he's very intelligent, right? According to him, he's very intelligent. Him and Kendrick are both A students. They're smart guys, right? I think this is how a smart guy tells you he's displeased with something, right? He blows up something on Instagram and then deletes it, right? But that's not smart, because people screenshotted it, and now the West Coast knows you got a problem with K-Dot. That's going to be a problem. We're going to see how this plays out. I think that right now, all of this stuff that they're doing in the name of Drake needs to be very, 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 very thought out. And you really need to decide, do you really want to go that? Because what happened to him is going to happen right to you. I'm just going to be honest. All the goodwill you got could turn on the dime, gang. It could be, you're right there with him, trying to figure out how to get back in the game and trying to figure out how to get people to forget about what happened. You don't want that. And I know Kenny not going to respond, but all he needs is one line. All he needs is one line. Like, look what he just did to Lil Wayne. Split the whole community up. He said one line, split the whole community up. So you don't want that one line to be directed at you. It's just that kind of power right now. I will wait, chill out, let Drake fight his own battle. You know what I'm saying? Trying to kind of just move away from this if you're not going to get into this battle for blood right now. It's just not really a good idea. But on that note, let me know what you think. CLBMG, did Atlanta just do a sneak diss in the name of Drake, or is this a misunderstanding? All right, I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine.
CLB.